Welcome to episode 9 of the Japan Games Cast. On this week's show, we check out some creative COVID countermeasures, No Kuni Crossworlds gets shown off in detail, and multiple new Dragon Quest titles are revealed. All this and more coming up. Alright, well, we're back again, Ryan. We're almost in double digits, episode 9, so it's getting exciting.
I'm pumped for episode 10.
That'll
be
yeah.
What, like our 2.5 month anniversary?
That's it, man. Yeah, if you're getting all romantic on me.
yeah.
But yeah, I got a little drink to celebrate. Just it's getting hot, you know. Tokyo's getting a bit sweaty.
Yeah.
So
yes.
I'm gonna crack a little cider open here.
Yeah, I got some coffee here as well.
That's it. Yeah, it's for all my British friends out there. This is some dry cider, Japanese style. But it's good actually. This stuff's been becoming more popular recently. Like 5 years ago in Japan, it was like impossible to find cider anywhere.
Oh, really?
But now I got this in the supermarket right next to my house. So.
Oh, nice. I like cider as well. So
yeah,
I'll have to get some of
those. So yeah, what have you been playing this week, Ryan?
I've been on Famicom Detective Club. It
yeah.
Came in the mail. I got the Japan deluxe version here. Huge box.
Yeah.
This thing is massive. I don't know if you can see it here, but
yeah, that's epic.
Yeah, it's got an art book inside as well. It's pretty solid. I got it all packaged here still, but there's this really big art book that looks like you can see the old 80s art there. It's kind of hard to show on this camera, but
yeah. That was good.
Yeah, a little bit expensive. A little bit more than I probably should have paid for it, but I just really wanted it because it's published by Nintendo, you know.
Yeah.
I think it's a cool game. So
yeah, how are the games anyway? Like just in general.
So I think I'm about halfway through the first game. It's definitely like a text based like adventure game.
Yeah, sure.
You know, like it feels like an old game for sure. But I love old games and I like text based stuff too. So for me, that's like no issue at all. But yeah, the story is really cool. I mean, it's like detective stuff, you know, people get killed and it's all mysterious, you know, who done it.
It's hard to say too much without spoiling the story, but
yeah. It's probably not a spoiler. It's like right at the beginning, but anyway, it's basically like the most fun study method imaginable.
Yeah.
Like, cause you know, I just sit there with my dictionary, you know, like a pocket dictionary or my app on my phone. And I basically just read through it like, you know, like I'm the detective and, you know, and if there's something if something I don't understand, I search in my phone and maybe I actually have a physical notebook as well where I've just been like taking notes like about the, you know, the cases.
Yeah.
There's
cool.
an in-game notebook, like you can press start and it has like all the notes listed. But for me, it's more fun to just like hear it straight from the characters and then like write down the notes.
Yeah, sure.
You know, it makes me feel like I'm
that's a good idea actually, because like, you know, I mentioned a few times I've been playing like Professor Layton like on and off, and I just keep stop playing it, but like when I do play, I get quite into it, and it's basically the same kind of thing. You play as this kind of like Sherlock Holmes kind of character, so yeah, you have to like remember what people say, right, and learn all the clues and stuff. So that's a good idea, yeah, taking some notes. But yeah, maybe if you know, writing them in Japanese as well would help you kind of retain some of that knowledge. Yeah,
it helps you like get used to the kanji and stuff.
Yeah. That's cool.
There's a lot of characters, so like the Japanese isn't incredibly difficult. Like it's not too bad. Right. I mean, it's detective stuff, so it's not beginner, but you know, an intermediate learner can probably make it through.
Yeah.
But the hard part is like there's so many characters and their names are all in kanji. So like, actually, one of the characters, his name is kanji.
Oh,
like, but it's, you know, it's not the same characters, but his name is kanji.
That's funny.
But yeah, it's been great, man. the artwork is really high quality. Like
that's the thing that appealed to me the most, like from the trailers. The animation, the way they've animated like the static drawings is really cool, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun to just like let it sit on one of the screens and just watch the idle like animations. And so anyway, highly recommend it to anyone who's into that.
But this week I didn't really do much gaming this week, just because of being busy. But I started playing Uncharted 4, so I'm still on my quest of catching up on the PS4 era, on the PS5. So playing through these old games. But Uncharted 4, another kind of free game with the PS Plus collection. So I'm having a great time not spending money on any games. It's so good. I'm just getting all these like super high quality like AAA games. And I got a few hours into that. That's pretty cool. But everyone knows Uncharted, it's been out, it kind of came out like 2016, so it's not really a new game. But what got me more interested actually is this week I picked up an iPad Pro for work, really, for like editing photos, doing some kind of like drawing and stuff like that. But it came with a 3-month free trial for Apple Arcade. So I haven't had a chance to try them yet, but I don't know if you can see it in the picture. I got Fantasian.
Hell yeah.
Taiko no Tatsujin, a Pop Tap, which we've talked about before on the show. Yeah, and then this game is called World of Demons, which is actually made by Platinum Games. I didn't even realize. But
oh, really?
The art style is almost identical to Okami.
Oh, wow.
And it looks awesome. But this is more like like typical Platinum style, like hack and slash kind of thing. But
wow,
it's awesome.
I didn't know that Platinum Games had like a game on Apple Arcade.
Me neither. I think I saw this like trailer, or I saw the images of the game somewhere, and I didn't really realize what it was. But someone in an article said, "Oh, look at this game." But I just kind of skimmed through, and I thought, "Oh, that looks really like Okami," and then that was like the end of it. I just didn't look at it again. And so I went onto the store, and then it usually had like top recommended games, and obviously like all the bigger like games are at the top because they're like more better produced. But it looks awesome. So I'll report back next week once I've had a little chance to get through it.
Yeah, cool, man. Well, I guess shall we get into the news then?
All right, yeah. So our first kind of goofy story for the week are these new kind of anti-COVID plastic barriers, which are quite common in Japan. I'm sure you've seen them everywhere, right? In all restaurants.
Yeah.
Especially, like kind of like, eating on your own is quite common in Japan, especially like in the business districts. A lot of salarymen, they'll just kind of dive out for their lunch, just grab like a quick like gyudon bowl or something, and just like inhale it in like 5 minutes, and then just be on their way, right? So you get loads of single seats, and they're all divided by these little plastic things. But this guy Takumi's Armory, so I guess this is Takumi, I'm not sure. But he's made this kind of like Dragon Quest like RPG style kind of divider, which I just thought was it's so simple. It's genius. I love it.
It's great. That looks so cool.
Yeah, it's great, right? So
you got like a HUD, right? It's like a drawn on there.
Yeah, I mean, I love the way he's standing in this photo because it's just got that like completely like motionless like NPC kind of vibe to it. It's just it's like the shopkeeper that never leaves his station.
Like you would go into the shop menu and like purchase your gyudon bowl from him, right?
Yeah. So I thought it was just like a really, really funny way to kind of like lighten something up that's kind of, I guess, quite negative, really, and then so just for anyone that can't read it, the words on here, we've got tatakao, which means to fight. We've got borgyo, which is like defense. We've got hanasu, which is talk. Unazuku, which it means to nod, but I think in this context it means to agree with somebody. And nigeru, which means to run away. And then it just says on the right here, it says dosuru, so like what will you do?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's that's basically the whole story. I just wanted to share it because I thought it was funny. If there was some way, some kind of technology that he could use to make it so like the cursor moved like up and down, and
wow.
Maybe there were like buttons on the counter, and the customer can like press something. That'd be really funny.
Yeah, that's almost like a simple way to get augmented reality kind of thing going. Just have it like where you can see the display through the glass. Yeah.
So I don't know if that's feasible, but
do they have those like glass displays where you can see straight through it.
Yes. Yeah. Actually, LG made like 2 years ago, they made like a see-through TV.
Oh, really?
Which is kind of crazy, yeah. But yeah, this is the guy's website, and he makes loads of different props and stuff. But this actually I saw a couple of months ago. This was like another kind of similar thing here. And I believe these are a lot of laser cuts, so just into like some acrylic. But it's pretty cool, right?
Wow.
So it's the same kind of thing, you put it onto the table to like divide people. But this is some kind of like magic summoning like pentagram or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Looks like some kind of satanic shit, man.
yeah. It's quite cool though, yeah. So yeah,
but
you can buy
cool,
that $150. So I'm not sure if it's worth that much money, but that's what he does. He makes props and all that kind of stuff, and he's got like glow up swords and stuff. So
yeah, this is cool, man.
Yeah, kind of interesting. I thought, yeah.
yeah. I'd like to hear about more like small time, artists around Japan. That'd be cool to share people's work on the show.
Yeah, of course, yeah. I mean, I find that there's always people in Japan doing these like weird. I don't even want to say weird because it makes it sound bad, but just like unexpected kind of like unique things, and
yeah.
I
sort of
feel
quirky
like
hobbies.
Yeah, like quirky, right? Like internationally, Japan is known to be quite quirky, right? But actually, in Japan, most people are very normal, right? And if you're quirky, you're seen as like an outsider.
Yeah,
so like,
yeah.
But despite that, there's a lot of like cool artists in Japan who they just don't fit into society so well, but they just they end up making some really cool stuff.
That kind of like, I feel like that empowers them like a little bit. In a way, like they feel like they just comfortable going all out in their the quirkiness. But yeah, that's cool. I'd like to go out and see some galleries sometime, or check out some people's artwork.
Yeah, there's a gallery right next to my house actually, and it changes like on a weekly basis. I've never been there though, but the thing is that you can see it all through the window. So like as I walk past, I just like look through and think, oh, that all looks very nice.
Yeah.
But I don't think you have to pay for it. I think it's just like one of those like, open houses, open galleries. I don't know what you call it, but like you go in and like buy the stuff on the wall. So
okay.
I think it's for like small artists, but they always have like really cool like manga stuff in there, or they had some kind of like erotic art thing in there the other day.
Oh, yeah.
And there was some very questionable stuff, but it was like in the middle of the fucking day, right? And it's just like on the road next to like the main shopping area. And you could just see like all of it, right? So there was like so many kids walking past that road.
Oh, wow.
I was a bit like, is this fine? But, it's not my place to say, I guess.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I guess in our next story, we're talking about more Ni no Kuni, right?
Yeah. So we mentioned this on the show a little while back, a couple of weeks ago. There was a new game coming out called Ni no Kuni Crossworlds. But this is the Koshiki Tokuban report. So like basically like the company special report. And they do this kind of thing quite often in Japan, where they, you can see in this picture here, they get like the director and like maybe the voice actors, or like the it's like a panel that you have at like Comic-Con or something like that. But like Japanese companies love to do these for like game releases or anime releases, manga, movies, anything, right? And basically, they'll just kind of play the game live, like on a stream. So basically, all they really showed was that, there's more details about the game. There's some kind of present kind of campaign here. Like 29 people can win.
Oh, yeah.
Ichimanen, or like 10,000 yen gift card, and then one person can win an iPhone 12.
I see.
Yeah, so all these kind of like little fan things, and there's something here, you get like double points for something. I didn't really read it that properly, but
so this game, it just released, or it's
it will be coming out. The release date is around here. So I think it's June 10th. I want to say. Oh yeah, it's here. June 10th.
Oh yeah, that's right. So yeah, to me this looks kind of similar to Genshin Impact, which is also this sort of like big open world RPG. Is this an MMO, or is it a just a RPG?
I think it's an MMO. It's definitely got a vibe to it, and from what I've seen from the gameplay, it's basically like you kind of walk around in the hub world and you talk to other players and stuff like that. So I think for the most part, it definitely is mostly like an RPG, like an MMO RPG.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, I've got some gameplay here. This is from French website, but I think they're just streaming the Japanese version.
Okay.
So you can see like the character creator here, which is pretty good, pretty standard, and there's like a little intro here.
Yeah, Ni no Kuni is always like connected with the real world, right?
Yeah.
It's like
So yeah, so the real world is Ichi no Kuni, right? That's where we live, and then Ni no Kuni is like number 2.
In Japanese, they call it isekai, right?
Isekai.
Isekai. Yeah.
Isekai is just like other world. So
yeah, parallel world, something like that.
Yeah, like isekai is like a really popular genre of like manga and anime, because there's just so many like series that have that as the main premise, where like just some really generic person just gets teleported into another world, and then they just live this like fantastic, crazy life.
yeah. There's a lot of animes like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's also like a trend in games as well. Just I guess across all Japanese media, it's kind of a nice way to tie in the crazy fantasy stuff with like real life. It kind of it like grounds it in a way. So like it helps you helps your imagination, right? Because there's a link to reality that like ties it. And so even if it's if wacky and crazy, like you still feel like connected to it in a more real way, I guess.
I guess so, yeah.
Because otherwise it might just seem like a fantasy nonsense. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think what people enjoy about it is that like, it's you're always kind of there along with the main character, right? And you're kind of learning about all this stuff at the same time they are, Yeah. So, like you say, like it kind of like feels a bit more like realistic, even though like it's completely unrealistic, the character who is human is like dealing with all this like crazy shit.
You get that same sense of like discovering with the character.
Yeah.
Like in Famicom Detective Club, like your character lost their memory in the very start of the game. So it's kind of a similar device where like since the character doesn't know what's going on, like they're on the same level as the player. And I guess Isekai does the same thing. Right.
But basically, yeah. I mean, it's quite common in Western media as well, but in like Japanese stuff, it's very, very common. It's almost like every new anime or like anime that gets recommended to me is like isekai.
Yeah, it's like almost gone beyond being cliche, and it's just becoming like a standard for like the genre. Like that's just Like,
yeah, I mean, it is.
It's like so common that it's just like part of the way to tell a story.
Basically, yeah. But yeah, so the game looks cool, as you can see. I mean, the graphical style is still that Ghibli style, even though Ghibli is not involved with this game. They were only involved in the first version, or Wrath of the White Witch.
Yeah, they hijacked Ghibli's art style, man.
That's it. Yeah, but you can put some bread in this girl's mouth, a penguin hat. But yeah, if we go back to the website here, because this is just basically like a summary of all the stuff from this show. But they show off a few little screens, but I thought a lot of these look really cool. The graphics are really nice. I don't know what this is running on, but I'd imagine probably like an iPhone 12.
Well, you should load this up on your iPad.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I mean, when it comes out, what's the tour? So it's in like 10 days. So yeah, I'll definitely check it out for sure. But yeah, it looks really nice. Even like the images we're looking at now are quite big, right? So once they're like on a smaller screen, then they'll look real nice. But But you can see. Actually, they don't really have any shots of the main hub world anywhere. But I think we might have shown them before. Here's some kind of battle images here. So it says here it's possible to choose your attack skill. But I don't really know if that's similar to the previous version or different. And then here it's just like your skill cooldown time. So you can think while your skills are cooling down. So I guess it does kind of hold some of the elements from the previous games. But overall, yeah, it looks really nice here.
Yeah, that's a cool game. So yeah, I'll be maybe I'll check that out as well when it comes out in a few weeks.
But yeah, as far as I'm aware, it's free to play, so no reason not to, I think.
All right, so next up is going to be the big Dragon Quest event that happened a few days ago. So I actually I checked out the whole thing. It was like over an hour long stream.
That's a lot of Dragon Quest.
Yeah, I was committed. The first half was all mobile game updates. Like they have Dragon Quest Walk, Dragon Quest Tact. There's others as well. But the big news are there are four new Dragon Quest games, and the first one is Dragon Quest Treasures.
Yeah. So
as you can see here, this is using the characters from Dragon Quest 11, which is like the most recent large title. Yeah, I think a lot of people really enjoyed the characters from this game, so it'll be nice to just spend more time with them. These characters, Kamyu is like your sidekick type.
Yeah, I remember him from the bit that I played. He's like your best friend, kind of like thief guy, right?
Yeah, and this is his sister, I believe, he's with in this game. So maybe it's centered around Kamyu and his sister doing treasure hunting.
Yeah, so she wasn't in the 11, right? I don't recognize her.
She was. I think she was in the second half of the game. She's like a little bit a later character. Don't want to spoil anything, but yeah, she becomes a big part of the story later in the game.
Oh, cool. Yeah,
but she's not one of like the main characters. But anyway, it looks like a cool sort of Dragon Quest 11 spin-off title.
Yeah.
And before I probably wouldn't have been that interested in this, but having played through all of Dragon Quest 11, like I'm invested in the characters now. So
that's cool.
I'd like to learn what happened to them. Maybe this is like before the Dragon Quest 11 game.
Yeah,
I'm not sure by the trailer, but
it looks cool. It looks fun. I'm big into like treasure anything with treasure. I'm just kind of addicted to.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Even like a Luigi's Mansion, like the very first game, there was all these different like secret, like you can get all the jewels and the coins and stuff if you like suck certain things, or like, there was all these like little hidden things, and you had to rack up like a high score with treasure, right? Or there was like Wario Land, sorry, like 1, 2, 3, 4. You had to collect all the treasure. And like anything like that, I'm well into. And also like that last part on the boat, that little part in the trailer, was giving me some serious like Wind Waker vibes.
Oh yeah,
it does
kind of have some Wind Waker vibes there. Yeah, it looks cool. I don't think a lot of people are talking about it because it got kind of overshadowed by these other announcements. So I'll just go on and list the next big one.
Cool.
So Dragon Quest X, it's like a 10-year-old, maybe even 11 years old RPG, right? An MMO RPG. It's only released in Japan.
Yeah.
So it's all online. It's only Japanese. But so they announced this Dragon Quest X offline version, and and it's not just the same game. It looks like it's almost an entirely new game. Like art, like graphically. The story is taken from the MMO, but
interesting. Yeah.
So this Dragon Quest X offline, it's using a graphical style that's more similar to the DS games, which I think most people are familiar with those because like the majority of the series is playable on the DS and 3DS. So this is kind of a throwback to those. But yeah, it's offline, so you can enjoy the whole main story of Dragon Quest X, just as if it was a traditional Dragon Quest game. So this is really great. I'm glad to see they're making this because I'm interested in the game, but I don't really have the time to dedicate to an MMO. So it'll be nice to see like all of the DLCs and the whole story just condensed into this game.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, looks cool. Like I like that kind of like little chibi world kind of, like RPG style.
Yeah. It's like I think that's what Dragon Quest. It's kind of like the original style of it that they've been using. And then more recent titles use like the normal proportioned characters. So I like the new style personally, but it is cool. I haven't played all the older games, so I don't have like the association with the chibi style. But anyway, speaking of classic Dragon Quests, the next one I think is the one I'm most excited about. Maybe
this looks awesome. Yeah, really good.
This is the Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D remake.
Yeah.
So HD 2D is what they're calling the Octopath Traveler engine.
Yeah.
So I think this is just Dragon Quest 3, but like remade with the Octopath Traveler engine.
Oh, it looks so nice.
And
actually, can we just go back there onto this trailer here because it says at the start here. So this is the Famicom edition. Oh, sorry, here. So it says Famicom edition. Was like the start of the legend.
1988.
Then it's Super Famicom edition.
96.
Yeah. And then it does this reveal here. It just looks so nice. It looks like a real like diorama. Like it actually looks like I can touch it. It's like made of paper or something.
Yeah. It looks amazing. And then and these pixel like the sprites, like they look really good. Like like it's just the perfect way to represent the classic games. Like it's true to the the art style of it, while still like updating it. I mean, of course, the world is 3D, but like all the monsters and characters are still sprites. So it just looks really good, and like the lighting, great, the lighting like appears to like change the colors on the sprites and things. So so they feel like more tied in to the world.
The lighting's very nice, isn't it?
So after this got announced, I started playing the Super Famicom version on my phone.
Oh, right, okay.
Just because like to get pumped up for it. And anyway, it just looks so good. And like a lot of people say Dragon Quest 3 is one of the best. So like I've seen some videos online saying like if you're going to play, just a handful of games, 3 is one of them that you want to check out. And and also let's see, the creator of Dragon Quest, I think Yuji Horii, I believe. He said that originally the plan was to remake Dragon Quest 1 and 2 in this style. But then he thought people might prefer to see 3, because I think it's a bit more of modern type, not modern, but it's more developed than 1 and 2.
Okay.
So he said he thought they would start with 3, and if it sells well and people like it, then maybe they'll go back and do the original Dragon Quest 1 and 2 as like a combined title, like with this similar art style.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So I thought that was cool.
I think if this is priced well, then it'll sell properly.
Yeah. I mean, this is the one I want the most, I think. But yeah, so hopefully that sells well, and then we'll also see Dragon Quest 1 and 2 remade in a similar style.
Yeah, for sure.
So that brings us to our final really big announcement from this event. This is Dragon Quest 12. And it's just a logo. So we're not
logo
seeing
teaser,
yeah. But this is kind of a nice trailer here. It's got 11, and then like the fire like breaks through.
Yeah.
Makes it 11 into 12 with the Roman numerals.
I love just like the excessive amount of explosions. It's just never ending.
Yeah, the logo looks great though. It's like this like molten hot rocks with like the Dragon Quest logo.
I kind of have like after these like logo reveals, like after Metroid 4 or Metroid Prime 4, I have like severe trauma. You know, because that game, the game's just never coming out, right? And it's like my most wanted game ever.
Yeah.
So like, it just kind of gives me like trauma to see like another reveal like that.
So we've got an article here in stating that the Dragon Quest 12 story has already been completed. So that's good. So hopefully we won't have to wait like 4 or 5 years to see this game.
I don't think it will be too bad. Yeah,
maybe I'm thinking 2022, maybe, or 2023.
Yeah, because when did 11 come out? It's been a while now, right? 2018.
2017 in Japan. But yeah, it's been out for a while. So apparently they're using Unreal Engine 5 for this game.
Yeah. So we'll show off some of that in a little bit. But from what I've heard about this game, it's going to be a lot more serious, right? It's called The Flames of Fate.
Yes. So in the interview with Yuji Horii, he said that like as fans have grown up, like so has Dragon Quest. So like they want to make a game that can like appeal to the like the adult fans with like a more mature themes and kind of a serious story. That's cool.
And, I like that approach. Yeah.
And to go along with it, they mentioned that they're changing the battle system as well, which is like sacred to Dragon Quest fans. So hopefully they don't change it too much, you know. But he said it's not a huge change, but it will be different.
Okay, interesting.
So yeah, I'm really excited for this. Although I'm not getting too excited because we don't have a release date. So
I'm sure like it'll be around before you know it. And we've got like E3 in like 2 weeks. So there's gonna be like so many games coming out or announced that you won't even remember what's going on, man. It's gonna be chaos.
Yeah,
but
it's gonna be great.
This logo, like with the flames and stuff, it kind of reminds me of the Final Fantasy 16 trailer. I don't know if you caught that when it was revealed.
A
few months ago,
like the kind of medieval, like realistic looking.
Yeah, right. Which I mean, this logo and that don't look anything similar, right? But it's just the color, right? The flames and the dark like background, and it's all made of stone and stuff. And there's a scene like at the end of that Final Fantasy trailer where like the kid like kind of freaks out and then he turns into like some like fire wizard and just starts like burning everything. And that looks very dark, you know, for a Final Fantasy game, right? So I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of got that same vibe to it.
Yeah, like I'm ready for like a more mature Dragon Quest because like we've seen a lot of Dragon Quest with kind of a similar aesthetic. So it'll just be cool to see the series with like a twist.
I think so. Yeah.
So I'm like into it, but I'm sure some people would prefer Dragon Quest to stay with like the more childlike kind of themes and you know.
Possibly, but I mean, you know, once you got to like number 12, like, and it's basically had the same like visual identity for like 35 years, right? Basically.
Yeah.
I don't think you could really argue. I mean, my closest frame of reference is, you know, with Zelda, with that being my favorite franchise. Every time that they've released a mainline game, almost. There are obviously like a couple of like sequels or like kind of loose sequels that share the same graphics style, but basically every mainline game has a different style, right? And I've always enjoyed that. They always try and mix it up visually, even if like the general like, the tropes of the game stay quite similar. They've all very, very specific art styles.
And I think that's like kind of the difference between Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest is like Final Fantasy is known for like reinventing itself with every game. Like always new characters, new worlds and things, and just like stretching the imagination. Where to me, Dragon Quest is more about that comforting, like familiar feeling, familiar characters and arts and stories.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's so interesting to see Dragon Quest like going in a darker direction, because like no one really expected it, I guess. Like,
yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, for sure.
But
it's,
anyhow, I guess that's a lot of Dragon Quest for now. But
yeah, so that's an awful lot of Dragon Quest. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, happy to see it, and looking forward to getting updates about Dragon Quest 12 in the fuctive.
Yeah, I'm excited to check out. Like you say, probably the HD 2D remake probably looks like my favorite, just because of that Octopath engine. But yeah, looks really cool. All right, so that wraps it up for all our news stories this week. Now let's jump into our new releases. So I think first up, we've got something called Astalon Chikuno Namida, or Astalon, the Tears of Earth. So it's not one I've heard too much about. So how about you, Ryan?
I've never heard of this one. So this is first for me.
Okay, get some serious Mega Man vibes from that guy.
Looks like Dragon Quest.
That's true, yeah, more Dragon Quest. But the guy's got like a Mega Man helmet on.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
music, yeah. Dick, 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 dick. I'll do a little cover of this. This is good.
Nice.
This is rocking. But that's cool, yeah. So it's I mean, it's even got that super like NES style graphics, right? It's very 8-bit. Kind of a limited color palette.
Like was it Shovel Knight?
That was a great game. Yeah, that was really good. But yeah, this looks cool. I mean, this kind of style is quite popular nowadays, right?
Yeah, I mean, especially like about maybe 5 years ago, like all the games were pixel style.
Yeah, yeah.
I love just pixels. Like I don't
even
even
fucking love pixels.
I don't think of it as like a gimmick. Like to me, just pixels are a totally valid way to make a game, you know?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, to be honest, like sometimes I'd rather look at pixels just because, you know, like the closer you get to like a reality, it just becomes less of like a game experience. Because it looks too real, right? Like,
yeah, you start to lose that imagination, and I like how pixels are kind of handcrafted, you know? They just have that, you get that feeling like someone spent time like laboring over each pixel, like figuring out how to make it look great.
Yeah, I definitely get that feeling, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. Anyhow, that's cool. Is that like an indie studio that made that?
I think so, yeah. I didn't catch the name of the studio, but I mean, yeah, it looks like an indie game. Generally, like one of the like the concessions, you know, of making a game like that is that, you know, because it's like a 1 or 2 man team, you know, it's much easier to make 2D graphics than it is to make 3D graphics. Not to say it doesn't require any skill, but like probably the man hours to like do that, it's probably lessened a lot, right? And then the complexity of like building a game as 2D opposed to a 3D world, I imagine is much more much simpler as well. So yeah, that style tends to be kind of indie developers. But yeah, that was pretty cool. Next up, I think this is we got a fighting game, right? Guilty Gear Strive.
Oh yeah. So I've got a buddy who's really into fighting games, and I've never had a chance to get into them. But he was asking me like, if you're going to get into fighting games, which one is the most interesting? I said Guilty Gear, because I like the pixels. Or not the pixels, the 2D pixels. Yeah, the 2D characters.
Yeah, I like games like this though, right? Like what's it like? SNK versus Marvel. They have like the 2D characters. They keep re-releasing like the old, even though there's like new Street Fighter games, they re-release the old ones. Like Blaz Blue as well, and there's tons of them.
Although this looks like 3D models. Is this just a cutscene?
Yeah, I think this is cutscene, but I would imagine that if they've got this for the cutscenes, I imagine they're going to use these models in the game. Okay, yeah. So I just found some gameplay here. This is the beta version. Apologies for this random white man in the middle colonizing the screen over here. Pretend he's not there. But yeah, like this is the style you kind of mean, right? Like that kind of 2D.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if they used 3D models and then like drew over them.
I'm pretty sure it actually looks very yeah.
But it, I mean, the series is known for having these really cool hand drawn characters.
Well, actually, you can tell it's not hand drawn. It's a 3D model, but they animate it in a way that like it removes a bunch of the frames from the animation, so it looks more like jittery, like a drawn animation. You know?
Yeah.
So maybe for like every 60 frames of the game, like it only displays like 15 frames of animation. So
I think that works really well for timing in a fighting game. You know, so you know exactly when you need to like hit the button. You know what I mean?
I guess, yeah. Like if there's less like, as like characters moving their arm, if it's in like 60 FPS. Well, actually, sorry, I should re-clarify. The game is in 60 FPS, but the characters refresh at like 15, just the animations. But yeah, like if someone's arm is moving up to like strike and it's in 60, then like you might not get the timing perfect, right? But with the 15, it's like dunk, 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 dunk. There's all these little different kind of positions of the arm. So maybe if you can tune in well enough to that kind of visual cue, then you can pull off the block or the combo or I don't know. It just I find it amazing how good people are at fighting games. It's just crazy.
Yeah, that's super precise timing and like reading the animations and stuff. It's pretty cool. But yeah, I always like the art style on these games. Although I haven't played them, so I can't really comment about the gameplay. But
but yeah, so that's Guilty Gear Strive. That comes out on the 8th, I think, of this month. So it should be out next Tuesday, I think. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Next up, we've got a Switch title, right? World's End Club.
Yeah, this looks pretty cool as well.
I think this is already out on Apple Arcade. So since you've got that, I think you can already play it.
Oh, yeah, interesting. Yeah. I mean, already I like the art style here. It's kind of like cartoony, but like, I don't know, a bit unusual. It's very colourful. It looks a bit like Yokai Watch. It's got that kind of vibe to it.
Yeah. This is. I don't know much about this game. I got it confused with The World Ends With You.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's right. This was in the Nintendo's Direct.
Yeah. So this video is from the Direct from February.
Oh yeah, that's right. So I believe on the Direct they said it's about someone who's like making a journey across Japan or something.
It could be, yeah.
So I think there's like Japanese culture. What do you say? Points. good cultural stuff.
Yeah.
In their educational materials.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Not educational, but you know what I mean. It's a Japan themed
lots of references, right? Cultural references and I know what you mean. Yeah. So the trailer doesn't really give too much away for the gameplay, but I'm guessing by this like square format on the screen here for this trailer or this video, this is probably from the iPad then, right? Actually, it says Apple Arcade, no commentary, but it's kind of like a side-scrolling game here. You can see like going through the rice fields on this train. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. The
looks fun.
The graphical style is really cool.
Yeah, it looks fun.
Yeah, so on Apple Arcade, are all the games like included as part of the subscription?
Basically, yeah. So it's just like Games Pass for Xbox or something like that. But it's only 600 yen a month, so $6. So not bad. But it says like over 100 games. So I'd imagine out of all of those games, I probably want to play about 5.
Yeah. I mean, there seems to be some like how do you say, like, not big budget games, but just like these kind of cool, like smaller games, like this one or Fantasian, like stuff that would definitely be fun to play and cool to check out, but maybe something you wouldn't go seeking out on your own.
Yeah.
But yeah, since you've got Apple Arcade now, maybe you could tell me how this is.
Sure. I didn't realize it was already on there, so it's already kind of piqued my interest. So I guess I'll check it out now. Yeah, add it to my list for this week. I got a lot of homework to catch up on this week.
Oh yeah, man.
All right, man. Cool. So what's the final game for the week?
All right, so our final game is Virtua Fighter 5. Ultimate Showdown. And I think you were saying earlier this is a remake?
Yeah. So this is a remake of Virtua Fighter 5. So Ultimate Showdown is the special edition, the remake version. And I didn't realize, actually, I just noticed at the start of the trailer, it just said Ryuga Gotoku Studios, which is the Yakuza studio.
Yeah, they've got characters from Yakuza.
Yeah, I didn't realize before, but actually it makes sense because the graphics look very similar. But I used to play, actually, Virtua Fighter 4, I think. I want to say that was on the PS2. Unless it was Virtua Fighter 3, maybe, I'm not sure. But yeah, I used to play with my friend.
I just remember was it Sega Saturn, like with the like blocky character models, you know?
Oh, yeah.
That's just like my only association with the series.
Yeah, like the original one, right?
Yeah,
it looked quite bad. But
maybe it was one of the first 3D fighters, right?
Yeah, it might be one of the first 3D ones. Yeah, So this game actually comes out tomorrow, 1st of June, because we're recording this on the 31st of May, and I also saw that on Wednesday, on the 2nd of June, it'll be coming out in arcades in Japan as well.
Oh,
so,
okay. Cool.
You know, obviously a big money maker for fighting games is in the arcades, especially in Japan at least. So, you know, if you're big into the Game Center life, then I'm sure, yeah, go check it out on Wednesday. It should be there.
Yeah, nice. And I guess that just about wraps it up for our new games for the week.
Yeah.
So I guess to close today, should we share our recent Japanese words we've encountered out there in the wild? Yeah, I guess I'll go first. So I've got shizumi komu is my next word. So shizumi komu, it means to sink into something, but it's often used like meaning to get depressed. So shizumi konderu is like someone who's sunk into depression. But in Famicom Detective Club, they're talking about a character who's been depressed recently.
I see.
And they say like saikin shizumi konderu. So it's like, yeah, she's been depressed recently.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, my last word for today is bunseki. Right? And bunseki is analysis. Maybe was this in our Pokemon Snap episode as well?
Possibly, yeah.
I'm not sure if we got to it, but it popped up again. So yeah, like bunseki is like analysis of something. So like in the crime scene in the game, like the police are doing the bunseki. Cool. Well, what do you have for this week? Did you learn any?
Yes, actually, these words, they're not new to me, but I just thought I'd show some or share some kind of basic words for anyone getting into gaming in Japanese, as we've done a couple of weeks before. So the first one is skill, skiru, which is very easy to understand, right? It's just the katakana version of the word skill. But there's kind of three words that might be used for the same kind of meaning, depending on the game, right? So you've got skill, you've got reberu, which is level, or not chikara, the way it's read here, but ryoku, which is like when you attach the word to something else. So you might have like, I don't know, like mana ryoku, which is like mana power, or I don't know, anything like tatakai ryoku, like fighting power or something like that, right? So when you pronounce it as ryoku and you attach that kanji onto the end of something, it will just be like the power of whatever the verb is before it. But those three can sometimes be kind of like interchangeable. depending on the game, right? But they're all kind of loosely connected. And another one I just kind of remembered, I thought was quite funny, was Rasbosu, which means last boss in a game. So it's just kind of condensed down of Rasu, which means last, and Bossu, which means boss. And there's another word of last Bossu, Sen, which is the kanji that we mentioned. Well, I think you mentioned 3 weeks ago, meaning to like battle, right? War.
Yeah.
But actually, it's not in the dictionary apparently. But if you search it on Google, it just means like last boss battle, like here, like
final fight.
Last boss Sen, basically. So it's just a good way to combine that kanji that we learned, a couple of weeks ago with this phrase of last boss. So
yeah, that's a good one. Rasu boss. I love these, like where the English words get small,
Yeah.
Mixed in there. So
that's always cool. Pretty funny. Yeah, so I think that wraps us up for this week's show. I'm getting incredibly warm in this room right now. The summer is really kicking in now.
Oh yeah, me too. I got a fan going over here, so
yeah, it's tough, man. But when you got all the computer turned on and I don't know, just like all the screens and the lights and stuff, it just starts to get a little bit sweaty. But
yeah, man, it's just gonna get worse from here on out, right?
Yeah. So I guess like next week, like I said, next week will be episode 10 already, which is crazy. We'll probably have loads of cool new stuff to announce as we kind of gear up for E3 season. And I'll update you guys on some of my my new discoveries on Apple Arcade. See how good it is.
Yeah. So yeah. And
do you have any closing words for our lovely people at home, Ron?
Yeah, you guys be good. Keep gaming. Have fun, All
right, Grandpa. Well, this has been the Japan Games Cast. Thanks for listening, everybody. If you're watching on YouTube, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you guys next week.